Councilman and candidate for Honolulu Mayor Rod Tam under investigation for how he spent city and campaign money on meals. And now a KITV4 News investigation has found he drastically reduced the amount of campaign funds he spent on food, just as his campaign in the island-wide mayor's race is ramping up. KITV4's Kyoki Kerr spoke with Tam tonight and joins us with a story. Kyoki.
And Laura, usually candidates start spending more money on meals and drinks for volunteers as the campaign gets closer. But the opposite is happening in Rod Tam's case. His campaign meal costs are down nearly 60%, just as two investigations into his spending are progressing.
I will faithfully discharge
my duties as mayor
to
the best of my ability.
Long before Rod Tam took his oath of election last week for the mayor's race, his campaign spent $26,000 on food and drinks during the last 3 years when he did not face re-election. The Campaign Spending Commission is now investigating his campaign expenses. Tam's campaign spent an average of $24 a day on food and drink in those non-election years, 2.5 times as much money as during this election year. So far in 2010, his campaign reports cutting back on expenses drastically, spending an average of just $10 a day on food and drink as his mayoral campaign got underway. Gone are the $400 and $500 dinners at places like Empress Restaurant in Chinatown. Instead, his campaign reports more modest meals in the $15 to $20 range at places like UPTOWN Cafe on River Street in Chinatown, where the staff told us Tam's favorite dishes are the hamburger steak and meatloaf. And these UPTOWN regulars, some of them voters who live in Tam's council district, say his chances of winning the mayor's race are
very slim.
How come very slim?
He has too many scandals, right? You know.
I think there are other candidates that probably have a better chance, considering all that he's been going through.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, if I was him, I'd save my money.
Tam denies that he's cut expenses because of the criminal and campaign spending investigations of which he's the target. Instead, he says his campaign got better organized. When you first meet with people, you have to sit down longer, Tam said, claiming that's why food bills were higher in previous years before the probes began. Tam says his campaign spent more money at places like Sam's Club and Walmart instead of fancy restaurants because he started holding potluck campaign events to cut back on expenses. Interestingly, UPTOWN Cafe donated $150 to Rod Tam's campaign, and Tam's campaign spending reports show that his campaign spent $150 buying gift cards for his campaign volunteers from one of his favorite restaurants, Zippy's. Kyoki Kerr, KITV4 News.